tower rotation. I'll just put that down in my little notebook here. Looks like we want it to be pointing to the east. Or actually, this is a device. It lets us move the tower. Huh. How much is its turning radius? I'll move it over this direction just because it's somewhere that might be applicable or reachable. We'll have to see. All right. Ooh, a spaceship. But we probably haven't started up the electricity for this, so won't be able to. Now I wonder where these cables go. In Myst games, finding where cables lead is actually a good idea. Oh hey, that's the ship that's submerged out there. And it looks like there are symbols. That is definitely going to be a puzzle. So there's an anchor, a beetle, a snake, an eye, a leaf, a cross, a bird, and an arrow. Interesting. Nothing's happening there. Now I wonder if I can get into the observatory. Oh no, not yet. I'll have to start up the electricity first. Let's go over here. Oh, there's a lighthouse. Just wanted to see what's over here. Oh, well I could actually enter this door. Looks like the steam hasn't been activated in this. I'll probably have to find a number or a combination to that. Many of these notes might actually be in the books back with the ones that I was reading. The channel wood, though, didn't seem to have any. So I'll go here. It looks like there's a cellar. Ooh, some interesting clanging going on. Looks like I can open this. Aha, generators. 10, 11, 18. Should I just turn all these on, guys? Oh, interesting. One of them actually loses power. Now I wonder if I have to find a way to get each of these to 100, or just see how much I need. Well, since we have the notes right on the wall, power to ship and the generation switches. Well, it looks like there's just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if that's an order per se, what we have to put in there. It looks like it wants us to get the power exactly median, which is weird because it doesn't look like it should be an 88. But, might as well try it out. So I'll turn all of these off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that brings it up to 99. Now the interesting thing is, before when we had started these, this dial was functioning. But I don't know if we blew a fuse on it or something's up. Yeah, the 50 brings it over. 66. That's an 85. 90 would be too much. 92, 91, 96. Then that brings it up to the max. I wonder if each of these buttons has an associated number with each of them. Does it add 1 or 10? Because that adds 10. 1 equals 10. That equals 1. So 1. That equals 7. Interesting. 2. Oh, huh. 8. That's peculiar. 22. 16. 19. 5. And 9. I mean, these seem to want 88. Unfortunately, the power to the ship is not going to be feasible. So I'm suppose I'm just gonna have to try 88 on that one. So let's do the obvious with the 22. 32. 40. Let's see. 59. 60. And that means I will need 28 more. $88. Okay. So I've got 88 for that. That's including all but that one and that one. So the dial still is not centered though. I don't know why it shows 88 or if it's just like a default for the number. Did that work? I heard some noises going on. Either way, the electricity doesn't seem to be functioning. It turns on and off when I go up there. But I'll see what it does, if anything. Oh, actually, there's a ladder behind this. I should see what's going on around here. Well, looks like the electricity on that cable is not working. Well, go back down, have to click off to the side. Maybe I'll find some more notes around here. I can at least fiddle around with this clock. Huh. So that brings about the minutes. I assume this is hours. Looks like we'll have to go poking around and find more notes. Because otherwise you could spend ages just guessing. So, let's read. Whoa. What just happened there? A door? Interesting. It's like some kind of elevator. Oh, of course. Do I have to close the door first? There we go. And let's see where we are. Oh, so there's a library and then there's a key. Interesting. Up we go. So it seems like the door is not accessible. Because it's just empty. I wonder if this is the tower that they were referring to before. Which means I might have to change the directions that it's oriented so that it goes from one to the next, because this ladder... Yeah, this is definitely the tower itself. So this has to shift around. All right, back in the elevator we go. And I assume if we go back and click on the other picture, it'll open another door. Oh. And actually, it pivoted the entire building around. So it shifted the opening there. I wonder if I can actually manually switch this. I'll just do it straight, like it was before. Oh. Or maybe just facing us? I'll see what that does. This does not seem to have changed at all, but I wonder what that means for the other side. Also closed. That's peculiar. Well, looks like I'll go back and I will, in fact, look at the other portrait. To the door, close it, back to the tower. It would have been nice if back in the day they actually had a glow on this button so you know when you could press it. That would have been a nice addition. Okay. Let's see. Oh, so this just shows the outside and the other door shows this. Wonder what happens if I press this again. Does nothing. All right, and it's back to the other orientation. I wonder if there's any more clues in these books. I find it actually interesting that they do show so many of the burnt books. It's a shame though, because when books are really damaged, people don't know what happens to the worlds. If they're completely destroyed, if the link is cut off forever. So let's see, the stone ship. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. He named them the rocks because that is what they were. A group of sharp rocks clustered together in the middle of a large sea. It was where Emmett lived. He enjoyed his life. Emmett would occasionally swim to nearby rocks, as it was never too far a distance. One day, another person appeared on the rocks for no apparent reason to Emmett. Emmett named this new person Branch. Emmett and Branch quickly became friends, swimming and hunting for fish together often. Emmett showed Branch the simple cave in which he lived on the largest rock. Soon Branch discovered a place where he decided to live, also on the same large rock. The sun always shone brightly in their world, and the water was always dazzling clear, allowing them to see almost the deep ocean floor which surrounded them. Though the sun always shone, it was never too hot for the boys. A light breeze always came from the north and cooled the area down. One day while Branch was swimming and having fun in the water, he noticed another boy swimming. Branch brought the new boy to Emmett to find out what to call the new boy. Emmett said that the boy would be called Will. Will was soon a part of the group, and all three of the boys swam and enjoyed their perfect world. At least, that is the story I was told when I arrived today on the island. Emmett, Branch, and Will were still surprised to see me at first, but even before the night ended, we were all becoming good friends. Today, the second day, this newly created age, a strange thing happened. It was not strange to me, but the three boys did not understand what was happening. While I was relaxing under a large tree on one of the smaller rock islands, it began to rain. It was a nice rain that lasted for about an hour in the morning. I explained to the boys that the rain was not harmful, yet they obviously still feared it. Before going to sleep tonight, I told the boys that I would leave the following day. I told them that while I was gone, I would make a surprising change in their world. They didn't understand, not that I expected them to. Oh, so Atrus is talking about editing their age. So, It's peculiar, though. I still do not fully understand what happened today. I was experimenting with the art. Yeah, that's it, the art of writing. Testing the limits of the rules as dictated me by Father. By the way, Atrus' father was named Gen, and we'll meet him in Riven if we get that far. I attempted to create a boat by writing it into the world. I thought everything was planned correctly, yet somehow the boat had become gripped by the rock and broken in half. Although this test did not turn out as I had hoped, I now have answers to a few of the questions my father never answered. As for the boat, I can see the boys enjoy it anyway, and with that I am pleased. They've played on it all day. Even though the boat cannot move, I have enjoyed studying from it. It is a much sturdier platform than the jagged rocks. In the course of my observations, I have learned some very interesting things regarding the solar system of this age. The nights are absolutely beautiful here. I have made note of and named a number of constellations that pass above me. Also, during the night, I catch glimmers of light from the horizon which I have not been able to discover. Let's see. The submersible lamp. Looks like there isn't anything on this diagram to actually show a puzzle, so I'll just pass that. Created by some natural phenomenon or by additional people on far-off islands or rocks. I should very much like to discover which. I rather suspect it is additional people, which would explain the appearance of Branch and Will. The rain today was slightly heavier than usual. Just when the boys were getting used to the light rains, a small storm arrived. They were frightened of the heavier rain, not to mention the thunder and lightning. If rain has ever fallen here until recently, as the boys tell me, I would like to discover why it is falling now. Regardless, I have decided to return home for a short while. I have also been thinking of some plans for a lighthouse that I hope to construct soon. I think that perhaps by shining a bright light toward the horizon, it might prove my suspicions regarding additional inhabitants. They would be curious about the light and travel to discover its source, if they had the means. I returned with many tools that I will need for construction of the lighthouse. I've decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building it on seems to not be as secure as I would like. I've had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. Oh, so there's a little diagram with the light. The boys are quite strong and have been helping me immensely. I estimate construction will be done within 2 days. The lighthouse is finished, and we are all proud of our creation. The boys are amazed at the structure wrought from rock with their own hands. That evening, we powered up the generator, much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light into the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night there on top of the lighthouse, and in the morning woke to observe the sunrise without my being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I had become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready to hunt for fish. When Will noticed a man not far away from the girl, Emmett was very pleased to meet the additional neighbors. I feel pleased to leave this age. I have set into motion events that have nothing to do with writing or the art that will have more profound impact on this world than I could have ever written. I think... Oh, and he just draws the stone ship age. Bird's eye view. I think of it as an age, as a gift to myself that I will wrap up and open someday in the future, only to discover that it has changed so much that indeed it is a surprise. Besides, I have yet another new age that awaits me. It seems I'm going to need some way to travel underwater in this new age, and so much planning is in order. It has been 10 years since I left this age, which I have since called the Stone Ship Age. Upon returning, I cannot believe the changes that have taken place. The original 3 boys have grown into adults, and there are many new faces that I do not recognize. Branch told me that it has not rained for 7 years, and the cool breezes are back again. They are all very content and have been serving me with new foods and showing me new materials they have discovered. It even seems they have found gold somewhere. I see it in many forms around the island. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition, and it looks as if they have tried their very best to keep it so. Yet I have noted the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. After a wonderful visit with my old friends, I wonder aloud with them, what things will be like there in another 10 years? Ooh, constellations. Now, this is familiar, guys. If you recall, those pillars back there with the buttons on them had little symbols, and an anchor was one of them. So I'm going to draw the anchor. Let's see, constellations. And it looks like it's a little star, a little star, a little star, a nice sparkly one up there. Little sparkly one down in the corner, another sparkly one, and that down there. And that is the anchor. I'll do a little sketch. There we go. So now we know what that will look like. I assume there's going to be a constellation machine of some sort. Let's see, the eye. The eye isn't too complex. Little star. 2 shining stars right next to each other. And another star off to the side. The snake. Yeah, in many Myst games, there are references to constellations and stars. Usually there's a visual apparatus that allows you to see them from a distance. Alright, big star up there, big star, and 2 little stars near the head. One of my favorite constellations is the constellation Draco, but I think that's because I loved Dragonheart when I was little, and I like to feed into the whole, you know, those are the spirits of the long-dead guardian dragons. And I'm like, wait, it's like, woohoo, yeah, Draco's up there. He's one of the stars that's in the head. I would assume that he's the eye. Voiced by Sean Connery. Ah, such a memorable character. Okay. So the bug. Has 6 limbs, so it's not an arachnid. Alright, and this is a complex constellation. Sheesh. Okay. Little star, little star, little star, big shiny star. Big shiny star, another shiny star, slightly smaller shiny star. And then 2 more little ones. The cross. Well, the cross is pretty straightforward. Big star with a little star next to it. That's why he probably added the hooks to each end, because there are those tiny stars off to the side. The arrow. This is probably how we access the stone ship age, by being able to put these guys in the right order. Alright, so we have those stars. Big star, little star, little star. And then, looks like a flamingo or heron. Heron would have longer legs though. I'll just make it the bird. All right. 3 little stars down there, big star. And the leaf. It's a nice looking leaf. Not quite like a maple leaf though. They would have more points to it. Okay. And then the big star is off to the side, making all the points. All right. So there's that. And now we have the constellations down. Now I wonder which book this is. Unfortunately, I couldn't read the spine of it. I would like to figure out the generators before we read all of these. I'm just worried that one of these will actually have the code to the generator. That's about collecting heat, lost ink, a rotation, the ship. Unfortunately, I think the starship is one of the last things we can do. Oh. I mean, this isn't going to be pertinent until much later on, but I might as well draw it. So the black keys. I remember that there's a piano somewhere in this game. 3, 1, 2. I love playing the piano. I remember when I was little, I actually would play this song of sorts on the piano. So that is 3. The key immediately to the left of that one is 2. The key off to the side of that one is 4. 1 is just below that one. And 5 is that sharp. Let's see. Doo-doo. No, it's actually start low. It's like an octave. Yeah, between 1 and 2 it's an octave. Interesting. That one's a burnt book. Of no use to us now. Now, this looks like it actually describes Myst. Or not. Insignia of the black ship. The track. That's talking about the rotation. A gear room. No, I think that's for another age that we'll have to look at later. Rhyme. And don't worry, guys. I'll read through these later. I'm just trying to find the one that we'll need for this age. But I believe that's all of them. At least the readable ones. They seem to be the largest volumes. And we have the Channelwood Stone Ship, which we'll be able to go to. I think the first puzzle may well just have to be getting the generator on and this aligned in some way. And you see, I thought that rotating the tower this way might help. We've already tried east, and I believe we've already tried west. Just want to see what north or south is. I mean, might want to go see the letter again. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atrus. Well, the marker switches are these. I believe the spots directly underneath them are some kind of container. You see the wooden part underneath. And we probably won't be able to... Never mind. Wait, I could have opened this from the start? All right, let's see what's down here. Now, I know that they added a flashlight to this game, but I won't need it immediately. Interesting. Setting the dimensional imager. Topographical extrusion test is 40. Okay, so topography is 40. The marker switch diagram. Marker switch diagram is 47. And the water turbulent pool is 67. Whoa. I suppose that's a panel. Okay, so currently it is the water turbulent pool. Or actually it turned off because I had opened the switch. So let's try 40. And I assume we press this button. Looks like some sort of island. I don't believe it is this island, however. There's another button? I suppose it just gets it to stop. I got an achievement, which is inside. Interesting. Well, let's look at the marker switch diagram. Oh! Whoa. Huh. Well, it looks like I'll have something else to draw. So there's the ship. It almost looks like the cyan symbol over there. Looks like this is facing out in that... Oh! I can rotate this. There's only 2 settings though. So I suppose I'll just rotate it that way. And hopefully that will open up some more doors for us. Now I do want to try out the marker switch diagram, which is 47. And let's see what comes up. Okay, well, it looks like a marker switch. Looks like interesting. And is there anything else concealed behind this panel? No. I mean, I could try more numbers. I don't know what would come up if I did. Huh. Yeah, let's try an interesting number. Let's try 8. I want to see what happens.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine is one of our sons. I suspect agony, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
Well, that was unexpected. I'm glad I chose a random number. Huh. So, one, if not both the brothers, is responsible for destroying the books in the shelf. Huh. Oh, you say I guess the number of switches. Oh, right, because that was the message for Catherine, based off the number of switches on the island. Well, I suppose there's this switch, that switch. So that's 1, 2. There's the one outside the observatory. 3, 4 is outside the ship. 5 is there. 5 is over here. Then there's 6, 7, and 8. Yeah. So I had actually accidentally guessed at a number. The reason why I chose 8, guys, is because my birthday is on the 8th of the month. So didn't expect that to help me solve a puzzle. I suppose I should have gotten that myself. Okay, but I did turn that thing around, and now we're back here. Okay. Oh, I could just open it. Interesting, but I can't seem to end. There we go. January 1st, 8th. Interesting. Something tells me, though, that I need to have a list of dates. Because you could put an infinite number of things into this. Because that's February, March. And it changes the images. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to find some sort of log or record for all of those.